Yo, what's going on, boys? I'm going to take you through the exact email system that's going to take fashion brands from around 10k a month to 50k a month in sales, the exact step by step. I'm going to break down the exact strategy that you should use if you're a brand in that stage. So, look, doing this is actually very simple. All you need to do is one, get more traffic through organic or paid ads. Number two, convert that traffic. Video finished. No, listen, I'm only joking. It sounds super simple, but here's what most fashion brands do. They get more traffic, they either focus on their organic or they put more money into paid ads. Then when it comes to converting that traffic, they're not converting enough for how much money that they're putting into the advertisement. There's only a few reasons for this. People usually stop running the ads or they say to themselves, oh, ads don't work. Listen, let me tell you something. Ads work, okay? Ads work. This is why Facebook is one of the biggest companies on the entire planet, because businesses just like yours spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on ads all the time. Now, this cycle being repeated, this is what's blocking your growth. Because if you're in this cycle of constantly spending a little bit of ads or you're constantly wanting more sales and not knowing how to do it, then you're not going to be able to grow your business. You're not going to be able to scale it at all. So you need to ask yourself, how do I make the ads more profitable? Now, you and me both know that email marketing, well, I hope you do know this, by the way, but email marketing should be making up 35% to 60% of the entire revenue for your store. And this is 60%, not only entire revenue from your total spend, but your acquisition cost. So how much you're spending to actually get that revenue. With email, it's next to nothing. It's like 42 times cheap. Well, you spend $1 on email marketing, on average, you get $42 back. You spend $1 on Facebook ads, and in average, you're going to get $2 back. So a massive, massive difference. So if you're competing against another brand who's making 60% of their marketing from a channel that profitable, you're never gonna be able to go against them, right? And I don't care how good your designs are, I don't care how good your brand is, how good your product is. Ultimately, if you do not have this piece of the puzzle, if you do not have this chain in your marketing system, you simply can't be profitable, because everybody else is only able to run profitable ads because they've got the other acquisition systems in check. Now, you are missing out on optimized email marketing, and that is going to be making your ads 50% cheaper, or a significant amount cheaper, guys, a significant amount. And it's going to give you an extremely low cost way of marketing your brand. It's going to work automatically in the background, because most of the heavy lifting is going to be done by automations, meaning you set it up once and it goes automatically forever at next to no cost. And it's going to unlock the ability to reach, nurture, and sell to your audience whenever you like. So if you've got a sale coming up, you decide when to show that message. You're not trying to scale an ad account up and find a winner. You decide when you want to show that customers that sale or that message. If you've got a big enough email list, you can just go extract money from that list whenever you want. That's the goal that you get into. So if you've got a big sale event coming up and you need to open up some cash flow, you send a few emails and you've got some money back into your business, and you are in full control of that. So this is what is known as a normal marketing funnel. You've more than likely seen this before. So you've got top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. Now, different type of advertisements are going to be doing different types of jobs, right? So your top of funnel, that's when you're advertising to new audiences. So if you're running on Facebook ads right now, you're showing to brand new audiences. And the goal of that is to take people from the top of funnel, so never seen your brand or not really interested, and you're meant to move them down the funnel. Now, when you move them down the funnel, you're taking a buyer that doesn't know you, perhaps. They've never seen you before, to maybe a little bit interested, then you're taking them to very interested. Now, the email mechanism behind this is for the top of funnel. This is the email version of it, right? So the top of funnel, you're going to be collecting their email, you're going to be nurturing that customer, you're going to present an offer, and then you're going to make the sale. So you're collecting the email address, right, first and foremost, because you need the email address to get the data, so then you can market towards that person. You nurture the customer. What I mean by that is you're sending them a sequence of targeted information that's going to help that customer get educated on your brand, know exactly what you're selling, handle objections, and then you're going to present them with an offer. And then after that, that's when you make the sales. Now, for the bottom of funnel, this is the second part of the mechanism. These two are the main two buckets, the main groups that you're going to be targeting. These are going to be highest leverage if you want to go from 10 to 50, right? It's very similar, but the bottom of funnel is going to trigger from a behavioral trigger. Okay, so that's something like abandoning a cart, abandoning a checkout. They're going to be triggered by that. Then you're going to send them a sequence of reminders. You're going to answer the objections in the reminders, and then again present an offer. Then you make the sale. So it's very similar, but the actual messaging that you're offering and the actual details that you're offering are going to be very different. Now, if you're not presenting offers to customers, then you're going to be missing out on revenue. Now, it doesn't always have to be 10% off. Sometimes it's stuff like free shipping. There's loads of offers that you can do depending on what your brand sells. You're going to be able to do a more custom offer and a better one. And the thing is with offers, you want to be testing offers. So this is the next part. There's something called the 80-20 principle. The 80-20 rule, and this is the Pareto principle. And this is a principle that's universal across life, across everything that you do as an entrepreneur, everything you do as a person. And that is 80% of the results come from 20% of the inputs. Now, these two buckets are your highest leverage customer pools. Now, when I say highest leverage, what I mean by that is you have more leverage when you do a smaller amount of work and you get a large amount of results. So when you're an independent brand owner, you're looking for highest leverage tasks because this is going to do the heavy lifting. Yeah, it's all great to pick up all the little 1%, but if you're not doing the high leverage tasks well, if you're not doing the basic stuff well, your brand's going to suffer. It's going to suffer financially. So for e-com brands, the way that you target these highest leverage pools of customers is by creating your two main flows. Now, the two flows that have the highest impact on sales are as follows. It's going to be your abandoned checkout and your welcome flow. Now, for these two, if we look back to this marketing funnel, the top of funnel is your welcome flow because this is the brand new customers, because that trigger is only going to pop up when they're first on your website or if they've not been on for a while. And your bottom of funnel is going to be your abandoned checkout. Now, you have abandoned checkout, you have abandoned cart. These two are the same, but abandoned checkout is your best one, but you definitely should have abandoned cart as well. But for the sake of the video, we're going to focus on the abandoned checkout. There are two different things, but you want to be having them both, right? So for the welcome flow, you want to follow a principle like this if you want to take advantage of moving the customers down the funnel and putting them into a sale. So there's 4 things that you need to focus on if you want to really create a high leverage welcome flow. So the first thing is welcome the customers to your brand. Educate them about it. Now, this is an opportunity if you're a small brand. If you're an independent clothing brand, this is an opportunity. Now, what you don't want to do is try and make yourself look like the biggest brand in the world. If it's you and your friend and you're running out of your living room, right? Or if you're a super small brand still, or if you're an independently owned brand, you can use that to your advantage. Now, most people are trying to look like top level brands, but the thing is, the owners are away from the top level brands. However, if you're positioning yourself as an independent brand and you're showing your face and your story, people are going to be able to buy into you, and you can use that as leverage for your brand. So, first and foremost, you want to welcome a customer to your brand. They've signed up to your email. This is going to be one of the highest open rate emails that you have in your entire ecosystem, because you've got to think people have just signed up to the email, right? So they're expecting an email in the inbox, and a lot of them are going to open it. You're going to have about 60 to 70%. So this is a perfect way to get people introduced to your brand, give them more information, and start moving them down that funnel. The second thing is you give them more information about who you are, what's your story in there. Okay. Now, the third thing is you want to make sure that you've given the customer an offer. If you have a pop-up for the welcome flow, for example, if you've got a 10% off offer, you want to be giving that straight away. You want to be sending a welcome email, but also the offer. Or you want to be sending the offer straight away and then the welcome email. Play with it. See, it depends what your offer is on the welcome form pop-up. But you want to be giving an offer. Do not just put, sign up to our email address, sign up to get emails from us, because nobody cares about getting emails from you. People care about what they're getting. Now, if they're invested into your brand and they like your brand, and you've given them an offer and they're considering the purchase, then if you educate them a little bit more and they can buy into you, then they will start to care about your brand a little bit. But it's got to be customer focused first. Now, one thing that people do not do, considering this is one of your highest leverage email flows, make sure you've got the correct volume of emails going out. 4 emails, 5 emails, 6 emails, 7 even. Because people are busy, people are getting on in their own lives, people don't respond to the first one, people get a phone call, people have the doorbell ring, all these type of distractions. So make sure that you're hitting people consistently. And you want to not only be hitting them straight away with the offer if they're already on your website ready to buy, but you also want to be hitting that person up a few days later with a bit more information, a little bit of a reminder. You want to give that customer as many emails as possible without being spammy or annoying. So there's a very nice level where you can find it. Now, the second thing is it's going to be your abandoned checkout. This is going to be your highest leverage task because you've got to think the abandoned checkout, this is people that have almost bought. So they've shown the highest possible interest that you can as a customer. The only highest possible interest more than this is a customer stood in front of you with cash in their hand. But we're in ecom, guys, so nobody's going to be doing that. This is the highest leverage customers with the most interest, the hottest customers that you should target. So if you want your abandoned checkout to be converting highly, it has to include these four things. The first thing is reminding distracted customers. So you want to be hitting customers up at a pretty fast time frame. Around 15 minutes is a good sweet spot. Now, the reason for that is how many times you've been scrolling on your phone, and like I was saying before, people get distracted. People are watching Netflix, people are cooking, people are waiting for the bus, people are on the break at work, people get a phone call, people go to the toilet. Now, you're going to get a lot of these people that have almost purchased on your site, they got distracted. When you send them a little reminder, you're going to get them converting. Just with a little 15 minutes automated email. So you want to send distracted customers a reminder straight away. Just saying, here, look, you've got to check this out. No offer, no urgency, not pushing them, just a little reminder. This is one of your best performing emails out of the entire flow. The next thing is you want to nudge people over the edge. So you want to look at your abandoned checkout flow like, if you've already sent a reminder email and perhaps another reminder email, how are you getting those people who didn't respond to those two over the edge? Well, a lot of the time, customers have objections. Now, that might be something like, how long am I going to get this product, right? Is the shipping free? Do you ship to my region? These type of things. There's issues and objections that customers have that stop them from buying. Your job in the abandoned checkout, you've got these people that have shown very high interest, but for some reason, they've not completed the purchase. Some of them are going to be window shoppers, but a lot of them will have a reason. So your job is to find that reason and answer it within the automations. Now, you're going to be able to optimize this over the time with A/B testing to test your objections and find out which objections actually hitting the most. And that's where you're really going to start optimizing your emails. Now, the third thing that you want to include is an offer. I like to do this 3 or 4 emails in. This is like, right, these guys have seen a few emails. I've reminded them enough time. I've handled their objections. Maybe it's just price. Maybe I just want to give them a bit of an impulse price purchase. So I will just give them an offer. Now, when you're giving a customer an offer, most people think, well, I can't afford to give them an offer. Or I don't know how much to give. Well, a general rule of thumb is how I like to think about it. You need to figure out what is your profitable CAC, customer acquisition cost. So if you're willing to go spend £20 on Facebook because your average order value is £100, right? And you're making £40 in profit, then that means the profit after your customer acquisition cost, if you're happy enough to earn £20 in profit and spend £20, well, why not just take that same discount and offer it to the customer in the email? Because it's the same as you passing it to Facebook. You're passing that saving on to the customer, and it's just like another channel. But the reason why this is powerful is because, unlike Facebook, you're only losing that money, or you're not actually losing any money. You're only spending that money if the customer redeems. However, on Facebook, you can spend that money and not make the sales anyway. And when you start doing this at a large scale, that's where you're going to really start seeing like the financial difference. Now, the final thing is send enough reminders at the right time. I can't tell you how many email accounts I've seen, and there's been like 2 abandoned checkout emails. Guys, these guys have shown interest. They're interested in your brand. You hit them with emails one after the other. Now, I'm not telling you to email them every day. Hey, are you there still? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Don't start getting weird. But make sure you've got enough emails going out. Now, if you send one after 15 minutes, you send one after the next day, you send one after 2 days, why not send one after 4 days? Why not send one after 6? Why not send a personalized, written out email? These are all things that you can do. And if you have an automation and a flow and an email is getting sent in 8 days, the customer's not feeling bothered because they feel like they got your emails ages ago. If you include all these and focus on these 2 main flows, these will have the biggest impact on your email profitability right here. That's why you don't have to do all the little tiny intricate flows if these two are not working properly. These will be the highest impact, they'll do most of the results, and this will make your advertising way more profitable because you're attacking the two types of customers, the two most important buckets, and you're serving the top of funnel and you're serving the bottom of funnel, and then everything in between. So these are the highest leverage automations that your brand has to offer, and they will have the biggest impact on your lost sales and convert the most amount of customers. And look, if you want to learn about these in more depth, just click the link below, book a free strategy call with me. We'll go over. If I can help you, I will. If not, all the best, no pressure. And look, this is for existing Shopify brands only, and you've got to be serious about scaling. So yeah, hope to see you on the call. If not, subscribe to the channel, and I'm dropping new videos all the time. All the best, guys. Let's go.